Hey all, how's everyone? You're with me, Mr. Dex, and welcome to the channel. I honestly didn't think I'd be making a second video on the Battlefield 5 reveal so quickly. I didn't. I was just finishing editing my analysis on the trailer, and then I checked Battlefield's YouTube channel to browse some comments, see people's reactions, and I'm really sorry guys, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I'm going to have to call this community out on what can only possibly be described as the biggest, cringiest collective temper tantrum I have seen in quite some time. So if you've not caught up with what's been happening, let me first hit you with some context. The Battlefield trailer revealed some pretty heavy emphasis on customization. From the information gathered from the trailer, it looks like you can customize the uniforms by adding quirky designs. You can customize weapon skins, the gender of the character and their appearance, to the point where it looks like you can give them a metallic prosthetic arm. Now, it's these two last bits of information that have seemed to anger factions of the community the most. So before I get all frothy in the mouth and straight up rant at you, I want to take a genuine look at their perspective, because legitimately they had an expectation that has clearly not been met, which is fair enough. So the crux of their argument comes down to historical realism and accuracy, which I do understand. Let's be real. It's unlikely that a female combatant, and there were female resistance fighters and fighters on the Eastern Front, for example, that is a fact. So it's unlikely that a female combatant at that time would be sporting a pretty nifty prosthetic arm that works just as well as a normal hand, and that should be using it to the same effect that was depicted in the trailer. This is true. The level of customization does not appear to be correlating well with historical accuracy. And further to that point is the level of customization of the uniforms, which I very much doubt existed to that extent either. Now, a very valid point would be to say that Call of Duty was pretty unsuccessful in trying to create this level of customization with the appearance of the player soldier and such. It does give it a very casual look, it takes away from the realism to a certain extent, and it's a bit of a gimmick. Call of Duty was mocked for this, so I don't really understand why this became a focus of Battlefield 5. Well, I do and I don't, but I'll get to that later. So yeah, visual customization was not at the top of my Christmas list, but I'm not going to not buy the game because of it. Also, I think given the move away from rigid historical accuracy, I think it was probably a mistake to use Trevor Noah as the brand ambassador. He's not really what you'd call politically neutral, and advertising him as the person who's going to basically showcase the reveal is probably setting things up in not really the right way. And it's not really going to help Battlefield's case, if I'm honest. But I don't really know. Maybe it was an oversight, but still not really a great look. But that's about all I have for legitimate arguments against this level of customization. Here is where my rant begins. All I see in the Battlefield YouTube page is comments like, "Feminism gone too far," and "social justice warriors ruining my life again," and one comment stating that the game is a direct offense to veterans who served in the Second World War. Like, what? Like, honestly, how dare you speak on their behalf? How dare you collectivize veterans and use them as an excuse to push your own agenda? Over a video game, for God's sakes. Like, unbelievable. That is offensive. You've got to be kidding me. Like, I get it. You wanted a classic Battlefield. You wanted realism and accuracy. I honestly get it, and I'm sorry you're disappointed. I am too, to an extent, believe me. But here's the thing. This issue has nothing to do with feminism. Absolutely nothing. This issue is about customization and only about customization, because A, women did fight on the front lines, both in Russia and on the Western Front, as part of resistant movements and things like that. So to deny that is unbelievably Western-centric. And B, the point I was coming back to, everybody was complaining about Battlefield 1 that there wasn't enough visual customization of the soldiers. So what was DICE's response? More customization, to an extent that the player base is represented. That is what this is about. They have sacrificed historical accuracy to add customization. And a choice of customization was that people would be able to create a soldier that looks something like themselves, which is understandable. Developers just can't win. They implement a change they think their community wants. Boom. Huge protest. How dare you change Battlefield? They repeat similar themes instead, and the argument becomes, it's like they've lost their way, it's just the same game. And that's what a World War II game was threatening to do. DICE releases a World War I game, COD releases World War II. Battlefield is already developing World War II, and they realize, if we don't add some customization here, it's going to look like an updated, reskinned version of our old game, which is also less than ideal. Rock in a hard place. I personally agree with the community. Maybe they should have stuck to their guns a bit, but it literally has nothing to do with putting a woman in it to appease the feminazis or whatever. And let's not forget about all the amazing changes they're going to introduce in direct response to community feedback. No more behemoths, no more premium pass, no more bullet deviation, random bullet deviation. They're introducing grand operations, which sound exquisite, let me just say, exquisite. Vehicle customization is going to be huge. Not to mention, they mentioned that they have a huge array of vehicles to choose from. It's going to be a good game, guys. I don't know what your problem is. Like, seriously, guys. If you've decided not to buy the game because there's a female character where there may not have otherwise historically been one, is laughable. Honestly, it's laughable. So many exciting features of this game, and you get hung up over this before it's even been released. Wowzers. And as for the metal hand, I get it. It's not historical either. An amputee, oh dear. Here's a crazy idea, guys. Don't customize your soldier with a metal hand. And actually, that goes for the female soldiers as well. If you want your soldier to be a fair-skinned 22-year-old American male with an extremely detailed uniform, no skins, nothing like that, be my guest. It's not going to work for everybody. Like, seriously. The number of games in Battlefield 1, a game set in World War I, where I've seen people using the swastika as their emblem, it's unbelievably high. No one was whinging about historical accuracy then. Like, I'm sorry, guys. If you're really caught up over this, I don't know what else to say to you. You can either accept it, look at what the game could bring to player experience and give it a go, or you could carry on for the next few months telling everybody how the world's gone mad and cry yourself to sleep every night until Battlefield 2020 comes out. Up to you. Either way, it's not really the end of the world, is it? I'm still excited for this game. That's a fact. The gameplay looks awesome. It may not be exactly what I was hoping for, but it's going to entertain the hell out of me. I can already tell. And that's all I have for you guys. Sorry I put the trailer repeating in the background. Honestly, I have no other relevant content to use, so I'm sorry about that. And thanks for watching. Hopefully we get a discussion going down below. Do remember that all I'm doing is expressing my opinion, and it's much less to do with people having different opinions to mine and everything to do with how they've expressed it. I don't mean to attack people on having different opinions to mine. I apologize if that's how I've come across. It wasn't my intention, so I'm sorry if that's the case. But anyway, I'll shut up now. Sorry for the rant. I'm off to bed. I'm Mr. Dex. Till next time, good night.